Hey
Hey guys!
guys, I'm Issa,
And I'm Sam.
and welcome back to Likewise Pod.
It's about whatever we want.
I especially loved last week because the interviews were just so much fun, and I'm glad that we released them both on the same day instead of making you all wait for Sam's. I would not be able to stand it if I was just listening.
Yeah, I loved those episodes, and my favorite thing wasn't even the episodes. I'm obsessed with the cover art that Issa made for those episodes. They're just so cute. She just made them look like us, and it was just so special and so cute.
I love doing that. I think it's so much fun. But shout out to Canva, really, because that's where I get it. And I just changed the colors.
We love Canva.
Yeah. You want to get us started with your roses and thorns for the week, Sam?
Oh, I will, and you're in it for a good one today. So, I'll start with my thorn because it kind of actually started off with a rose. But I had a really great afternoon today, catching up with a bunch of people I haven't talked to in a while. And then it got so chaotic, and I had to leave to go to my orthodontist appointment to get my retainer fixed. And I looked on maps, and it told me that there was such bad traffic, and I would be like 30 minutes late to my
Oh
appointment.
my gosh.
And so I was like, oh no. And when I was walking back to my car to leave, anyways, I realized that I forgot to call and check in to see if I had to go to jury duty today. And so then I started having like a panic attack thinking that I'm committing a federal offense and not showing up for jury duty. And so then I called the number, like the check-in number, because I like wanted to hear if they called anyone in, and I called the wrong number. I called the place that I went and got my ear pierced the other day, and then I had to be like, "I'm sorry, wrong number." It was just so chaotic. Oh, I did not commit a federal offense. If I did not clarify that, they are not calling any juries in right now. Thank the Lord. But I also got sunburnt, and I think it's worse than I thought it was. It's kind of developing more right now. So overall, crazy afternoon for me. Um,
Yep, you are looking a little pink. It looks like it hurts so bad.
yeah, I honestly don't feel it right now, but I am getting a little warm. But my rose, so great. My birthday was on Sunday, and it was so good to see all my friends. That's like literally all I wanted was for them to come and hang out with me. So I did like a little outdoor picnic with them. I
It was
went
so
and got
cute.
my doth pierced, and um, Issa's gift to me, 10 out of 10. My favorite gift. It is so cute, and her video of her making it is so wholesome. So
Oh
if you
my
haven't
lord.
watched that, go watch it.
Oh my gosh, no, that's so sweet. I'm glad that you like it as much as you do because I was like, I just want to look good. I want her to just, like it.
No, I loved it so much, especially because it says likewise on it. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm just dreaming of the day we have a studio for the pod and it's hanging up.
I literally, whenever I see Haley and here we are, here I am already talking about them, not even 5 minutes in. Whenever I see Haley and Lily like on their Instagram stories or just their videos or like their podcast videos now, and they're like they just put up their Call Me Candid neon sign. I'm like, I can't wait for it to get a likewise neon sign. I can't wait to have a pod studio. Can't wait to do this. Blah blah blah. I'm like, wow, it's so motivating and inspirational. I guess I'll start with my thorn. But this week I've just been kind of like discouraged in things like so I'm officially this is part of my rose though. I'm officially an entrepreneurship major now, so I'm finally like starting to roll in like more courses for the fall and more things like for my new major. I'm really excited about that. But that's really got me thinking like, oh, I'm really like doing entrepreneurship. I'm really doing things like for myself. I need to start doing better and things. And so I've just been a little bit discouraged in, I guess, like the results of things, like not getting a lot as many views on my videos as I want, or not getting as many streams on the pod as I want, just because I have like super high expectations for myself and for the things I do. So to not exactly get the results I'm dreaming of is discouraging, doesn't really motivate me. But then again, like on the other hand, not getting the results I really want motivates me to keep going and to do better. So it's just kind of whatever right now. I don't know. But like, so yeah, I have been feeling a little like, oh, don't really want to record the pod. Like yesterday, he slept over at my house and we were going to record the pod, but then we ended up not. And I honestly, I was like, don't really want to. Like, I love it, but like, not feeling it. And then I really just didn't want to like upload my video today. I don't want to finish editing it. I was just like, oh, it's not going to get a lot of views. But then I was like, no, I need to. I've been working on this. I haven't uploaded it in a few weeks. I need to upload. And I also like the video. So I'm not saying like going totally back on what I said in my interview, like, oh, I'm uploading what I'm not proud of. Like, I'm proud of it. Like, I like it. But it's just kind of one of those things. But then my rose was obviously your birthday. That was so cute, so fun. And also, I've been watching so much Love Island, and I love Love Island so much. And now my thoughts have accents. But yeah, that's my roses and thorns of the week.
I know. I was thinking about how we didn't record the pod when I slept over too, but I'm so glad we didn't because we were both so tired. Neither of us, like, I just don't think the conversation wouldn't have been as good. So, like, as much as we like to record on Mondays, I think it was fine that we waited an extra day. I don't think it's going to set us back at all, but
Oh,
it's
no.
just like, I just know our conversation is going to be better. But yeah, I'm so glad you came for my birthday.
And I know another thing we discussed about like why we didn't record yesterday is just because, okay, we'll let you in on a little secret. For Sam's interview episode, we recorded the intro and outro in the morning, and we just felt like that was really, really chaotic, and it just felt weird. And it wasn't even like morning. It was like 11 a.m. But yesterday we were just kind of thinking, that was a little, we're not sure how we felt about that. We just feel like we record better in the afternoon as the day goes on.
Yeah, like a good late afternoon moment. Our most common recording time is just like a good 5 p.m.
I mean, it works. It works. I like it.
I really like it too. Oh my gosh, I just remembered another rose. I had Jimmy John's today for lunch because I've really been on my Jimmy John's kick, like grind. But I had ordered like a party pack of sandwiches from Jimmy John's for my birthday thing. And since I ordered that was like right when I signed up for the rewards program. I don't know how it took me so long to get on their rewards program. I just was lazy. But I had a free sandwich. So I ordered pickup today before I went to meet my friends. And so it was another day of Jimmy John's, and I just love Jimmy John's.
Oh my gosh. Literally. So your party pack, it came with, I don't know how many sandwiches, but they're all cut in half. I had 3 halves. They were so good. Oh my gosh, I love Jimmy John's. I really need to sign up for their rewards program too.
Yeah, that would be, I think, 12 inches of Jimmy John's sandwich because I think their sandwiches are usually 8 inches. So you had like a foot long, basically.
I love Jimmy John's. I really need to get like on their rewards program because we go there so often when we're at school.
Yeah, we do because it's like 2 seconds away from where we live, so we can like walk there all the time.
Yeah, and Domino's.
But
Domino's.
I think the rewards add up fast. Like I'm gonna look at my rewards right now, Loki, but I think that they go super fast because it's telling me I only have 2 more orders to go until my next reward. And I don't know if
oh my gosh.
I don't know if it's always a free sandwich or if it's just like a discount. But no matter what, after your first order with the rewards, you get a free one. So take with that what you will.
Oh my goodness. Okay, what's your go-to sandwich?
Okay, my order is a number 4, which is the turkey tom, with no tom. I don't like tomatoes. Add
I love tomatoes.
cheese and cucumber and Jimmy mustard. Jimmy mustard is like my favorite thing in the whole world. It is so good. But yeah, that's what I order.
Mine is a number 12. I don't even want to try to remember what it is, but it has avocado on it. So good. Number 12, no cukes. Don't like cucumbers, so I don't order it.
Do you like not like really add anything? Just normal number 12?
Just normal number 12, no cukes.
Oh, cool.
I'm a simple gal.
I just love to add the things to mine because without like the tomatoes, it's just turkey, lettuce, and mayo. That's like all that would be on it.
That sounds so good. Oh my goodness.
Well, I guess we can just get right into our topic of the week, which I'm so excited for this. I've been waiting for when we do this episode.
I know, me too. I can't believe that we haven't done it before now, considering the fact that you're the president of our sorority.
I just think like me and you could talk for hours about like everything sorority life, just like common things people want to know, like the myths and stuff. So
yeah, so buckle up, grab some popcorn. Well, maybe not some popcorn. I mean, you can grab popcorn, but just grab a snack. This is gonna be a long one. But so this week we are delving all into sorority, FAQ, frequently asked questions, recruitment myths versus reality, misconceptions, Q&A, anything.
We've got a good long list, so
Yeah, it's definitely a lot, but I feel like it'll be good in case there's anyone listening out there who is considering going through recruitment, joining a sorority, maybe even a fraternity. Who knows?
I think that it's just gonna be super helpful.
Yeah, I wish I had something like this. I mean, granted, my heart has been set on joining a sorority since I was like a kid, so.
Yeah, same.
Also, I'd like to take this time to say that these are our own personal views. They don't reflect the views of our chapter. They don't reflect the views of our school, of our Panhellenic community. These are just our own personal views.
Yeah.
So I guess we can start out with like the myths and misconceptions of sorority life. One that I found that apparently is a very common myth is that Greeks are only friends with Greeks, and even kind of deeper into that is that you're only friends with the women in your sorority.
I mean, like, I can say that, like, I don't, like, personally, I don't really hang out with a lot of people outside of the chapter, but that's just because, like, I hang out with, like, all my best friends all the time, and they are in the same chapter as me, but I do have, like, a lot of people I've made friends with in, like, my major, who aren't in Greek life or are in another chapter, especially getting to know, like, the other sorority presidents. They're obviously in other chapters, so I mean, everyone finds their people and kind of sticks in their little group. I'm not a super, like, I never really had the goal of trying to, like, make friends with a lot of people in, like, my classes, so I like to just stay in that lane.
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, I hang out with my friends from the dorm. So, okay. So, long story short, freshman year, we all lived in the dorms. And then we had our ROGAM groups, which was like the groups that we went through recruitment with. They lived in your dorm. At least that's how it was for WCU. Like, there were 5 of us on my floor, and we all got super, super tight. Like, my roommate, Emily, she's in Tri Delta. Like, she's one of my best friends. And then another one is in Sigma Kappa. Actually, 2 of them are in Sigma Kappa, and then one of them joined Alpha Phi. And then one of the girls in Sigma Kappa, her roommate was on crew, so like rowing. So she's not in Greek life, but she's like one of my best friends. Like, she's in our core group. And so it's definitely Greeks are not only friends with Greeks, but it is a super easy way to make friends. And so generally, I mean, not generally, like most of my friends are part of Greek life. I only have like a handful who aren't, which is totally fine. Like, I wish I knew more people who weren't part of Greek life just because I want to get a broader view, you know?
I mean, I feel like we are, like, especially at WCU, like, a lot of our campus, like, a lot of people are in the Greek community. So, I don't know, I feel like it's way more common to, like, meet people who are Greek versus those who aren't.
And then kind of along with that is another myth that joining Greek life is like you just pay for friends. Tell me an organization that you join, like a sports team that you have to pay for and you make friends. Are you not paying for friends there? Like, there's
Yeah.
not really a difference there. Like, any organization that you join that you make friends in, like, and you have to pay money, you're either paying for
Yeah.
friends for all of them or you're not for any of them. So that's not what
Exactly.
it
And
is.
there's like a lot of things that make up our dues. It's like we're paying for like our meals and we're paying for our social events that we have, like formals and things like that are really fun. So at the end of the day, I don't know, you're paying for like everything, like
hmm
everything you do, you've already paid for. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. That one is kind of hard sometimes, just, but that's a really good point that any other kind of thing, like sports teams, it's the same thing. You're paying like a lot of money
Yeah.
to be on teams too. So
My whole life I played soccer, and then I started playing select, which is significantly more money than just recreational soccer. Like, I started playing in 7th grade, I think, so I had 6 years where I was paying a lot of money, but that wasn't just paying for friends. Like, that was paying for like a whole bunch of stuff, like uniforms and like tournaments and games and stuff. Like,
yeah.
all the money is not just for quote unquote friends, you know?
And especially, I found where that like is very false for me is that like living in the house, like ever since I moved in, my like entire dues for the semester that I pay for like living in the house is like $2,000 cheaper than what I had to pay to live in the dorms.
Mm-hmm.
Like total. I don't have any other dues on top of that. So like I'm spending less money than I ever did than when I lived in the dorms. So that's kind of really weird too. Like I'm actually saving money and
Yeah.
I'm in like an awesome chapter and made a lot of friends.
Um, Joining a sorority is a waste of time if you're not in a quote unquote top house.
Yeah, that's like such a problematic like idea of like what a sorority life is like because like I mean any um like most hopefully women in our community would agree that like we're tired of the hierarchy and we
Mm-hmm.
don't like the ideas of top and bottom houses and it's hard that a lot of people come into the community with a lot of misconceptions about it. um, but it's definitely not a waste of time if you're not in a predetermined top house for
Mm-hmm.
whatever reasons. Because if that just shows that like you'd be joining it for the wrong reason. Because if no matter where you are, like if your chapter is not considered a top house necessarily, even though the hierarchy is stupid,
Mm-hmm.
you still make like great friends and you host philanthropy events and you do other community service and you have like meetings and you get to do a lot of stuff with all these people and amazing women in your own chapter. So it's really horrible to think that it's a waste of time if you don't have like the same clout as another chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. There are definitely rankings of chapters on campus and for both sororities and fraternities, and it really sucks. There's just a huge stigma around them. Like, oh, this chapter's for weird girls, or oh, that one's for really smart ones, or oh, that one's only like the blonde and ditzy ones, and that is so tiring to me and it's so superficial and I'm just so tired of it because one of my favorite things is just to have people guess what sorority I'm in. And just because, not so much that I want people to be wrong, but I just want to know what people think of with their first impression of me. And people rarely ever guess that I'm in Tri Delta. And then when I tell them that they're in Tri Delta, I get a mixed bag of reactions. Like some are like, oh, I like Tri Delta, or oh, you're in Tri Delta, or you don't seem like it. And I'm just thinking, what the heck? Anyways, like quote unquote top house or not, it's not a waste of time. This really does tie into another like misconception is that like you have to give into your sorority stereotypes. So like if your chapter is the annoying one, then you'll eventually become annoying. Or if your chapter is the ditzy one, then you'll eventually become ditzy. Like that's definitely not at all. Like sorority women already have a reputation of being very materialistic and ditzy, and I don't even know because I'm going to say at least 95% of the sorority women I know are not superficial, are not ditzy, are
Yeah.
not just all about partying. TV and movies just really give us like such a bad rap.
Especially just like the whole idea of like just all the stereotypes of showing kind of like that we're all the same and only a certain type of woman can be in a sorority.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so false because you get so many people and like so many friends that you know like in your chapter or in other chapters. I hate always being like, yeah, she's very much like not a sorority girl, but I like mean that in like, you know, nobody is just your typical sorority girl. Like I like to joke that I am because it's
Yeah.
just like so obviously like my thing. Like people from high school probably aren't surprised like that I went through recruitment, but I just like hate the idea that we're surprised when people who are like not super girly or just aren't ditzy or whatever, like
Mm-hmm.
we're actually like all very academically driven, or at least most sorority women are. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's really hard and that doesn't like get across and I really hate that.
I know, and I hate to say it because I definitely give into it, but like when I think of typical sorority woman, the first thing that comes to mind is Elle Woods. I don't know how many people like don't think of Elle Woods when they think of sorority or like typical sorority woman or typical, I don't even know, but there really is no one type of woman. And so to say that only a certain type of woman can be in a sorority, which is another misconception, is a total lie. And I feel like people from high school, I feel like I would probably get a mixed bag saying, oh yeah, she would definitely join a sorority, or oh no, there's no way Issa would join a sorority. I mean, maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe everyone thinks, yeah, no, it's so obvious you would join a sorority. Because I think it was super obvious that I would. But at the same time, I never really admitted that I wanted to join a sorority until probably senior year when I was quote unquote thinking about it. In my head, I knew I was going to. But just because I kind of felt like it was out of character for me to want to join a sorority just because of all again, because of all the myths and misconceptions about Greek life from TVs and movies.
Yeah, you just think that people would judge you, like, because you, no one really fully understands what the Greek system is actually like until you're in it. Like,
Mhm.
you will never fully grasp what, like, the sisterhood is like, or what rituals are like, or, like, anything until you're actually doing it and you're in it.
Yeah.
And it's hard for it to make sense from the outside. It really is.
Yeah, and every campus, every school is so, so different from another because I know, like, if I were to go through recruitment somewhere else in the country, even at, like, UW, I probably would not be in Tri Delta. Most likely would not be in Tri Delta. I always think about it like, what chapter would I be in? And I just like thinking about that kind of stuff. But I also understand that Greek life is not for everyone. Like I have a few friends who aren't involved in Greek life, but they just have the thoughts of, you know what, you like it, you enjoy it, like keep doing it, keep like that's super great for you. But I also know other people who just totally tear Greek life apart. They tear it to shreds and they just think, oh my gosh, sorority girls, they're so superficial, they're so egotistical, they're so full of themselves, think they're the best, blah 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 blah. But that's literally the complete opposite of what it is. If anything, being in a sorority has taught me so much about women empowerment. It's taught me so much about being confident and just being my true authentic self. And for people to tear it down and take that away from me is it's just so selfish in my opinion. And I really wish we could change the negative stigma around Greek life.
Yeah, me too. Ugh, it's just so many things. Like the other one, kind of another stereotype, I guess, that you have on here is just that like all sorority girls do is party. Oh my gosh. And how you wrote, yeah, it is so false.
And it's so funny because some of the people that tear apart Greek life um, for being super superficial and for being all about partying and just for being so dumb and not worth anything are the people who like to go to what is it? Oh yeah, like fraternities. Like they like to go out on the weekends. They like to go out and party. And I'm just thinking, listen, if you don't want to respect them during the day,
Yep,
don't go to their house at night. Like that's not cool.
exactly. It's really not. And I know so many people who never go out. Like, and I rarely go out to the frats. Like, it's not really my thing. And even if people do like to go out to the frats all the time, maybe because they have like lots of friends there or they like the party environment, power to them. Like, pretty much every college student is doing
Mhm.
it some way or another, whether that's just like dorm parties, athletic house parties. Why is it a problem when it's the Greek students, you
Like
know?
I go out. I just like hanging out with my friends. I love the crowd atmosphere. I've always been a crowd person. That's why I love going to concerts. That's why I love going to sporting events. I just love crowds. I love the atmosphere. I just like hanging out with my friends too. So,
Yeah, that's one of the really annoying ones because anytime that I tell people that I like went to high school with or family members, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in a sorority, this, they like instantly always ask about like partying or like, oh, party school, WCU, all that. Um, and it's just so annoying. So I'm like, it's really not. Like, I didn't even like join with like the expectation of going to parties. Like, I joined because I wanted to join the
mhm.
sisterhood. It had nothing to do with parties, like ever.
Kind of away from Greek life, but just WSU in general, like the reputation of a party school. Oh my goodness. Like, yes, I do understand that some programs are not as strong at WSU, but we have some really, really good programs. And like the veterinary program at WSU, for example, one of the best in the country. So I've
Yep.
heard. I might be wrong, but that's what I've heard. And one of my littles is a veterinary student and she's doing so well. She is like excelling in all of her courses. She took a summer course. Oh, I'm so proud of her. I'm like, wow, that's my little. I need to take after her and do well in my courses. Like a lot of women in our chapter are actually like veterinary students, and so the thing about always partying or only partying and not doing well in school, like that's so so false. And I don't know how to reiterate that without just being redundant.
Yeah. Like, we have grade requirements. Like, if
Yeah.
you don't do well in school, like, there will be like repercussions. Like, people go on um, like, we have like contracts where we like require like study hours just so that like we help drive our members to do better in their classes the next semester. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we have grade requirements in the community, it's like we kind of have to do well. Like, so that's
Yeah.
very false.
Yeah, you know what? I'll out myself. Like for the first, what was it, 2 or 3 weeks of fall semester last year, I was on contract because I did not do well second semester freshman year. So I retook a course online over the summer so I could raise my GPA so I could get off of contract. And then fall semester, I got a 3.5 GPA.
Yeah. If you're wanting to join Greek life just so that you can party, I would say rethink your decision to like join, and because it's really a very very slim part of it, especially for sororities. Like, I mean,
Hmm.
it's a bigger thing when it comes to the fraternities, but because they're the ones who like host the parties, but for like sororities, definitely like if that's the only reason you want to join one, then you maybe shouldn't.
Yeah, because that's a lot of time, that's a lot of
And
money, and that's a
yeah.
lot of effort that you're going to be putting into a sorority, into a chapter, just to go out with people that you probably won't even like.
Yeah, you're not going to want to necessarily stay either. Like, once you're in it and you realize that there's all these other things that actually make it a sorority that you do, like the community service, like programming, things like that, like, you're really going to not want to stay an active member for very long when you realize that, oh, this isn't just partying.
So like another misconception that there is that you don't have time for anything else if you're in a sorority. That's just your whole life. Like yes, we do have required like community service hours, required study hours, required programmings, and there are so many standards we have to meet in order to continue to be an active member. Honestly, like I have so much free time and I feel like I'm not involved enough with the
Like,
sorority.
even I think I have a lot of free time.
First semester, I even like babysat for a family. Like I had so much time outside of school, outside of the sorority.
Yeah, I honestly, even being the president, I low key think I have a lot of free time. Like, I have a lot of stuff that I do in a week. Like, I have days where I always have meetings at like certain times on top of classes. I mean, when I'm not in class and I don't have meetings and I like, keep up on emails, keep up on like prepping other things, like, I have a lot of free time. Like, y'all don't even know how much time I just spent in bed on TikTok. Like, I, even as the president, like, I genuinely think I had a lot of free time. So, just like, yeah, even if you like, it's your choice how involved you want to be
Yeah.
as a member. I mean, obviously the more you put in and the more you be involved, and you can be involved in many different ways. You don't have to have an officer position. You don't have to um, be at every single thing. Like, just being involved in the sense of like you're actively always like trying to like make new friends, or like you come to the house for meals and stuff like that. You get out of your membership what you put in, basically.
Yeah, I feel like we made it sound really, really scary with the, "Oh, sorority girls, like, we don't party." Like, I mean, that's a lie too, like, women definitely do go out, but yes, it is a lot of time commitment, especially during formal recruitment. Informal recruitment is a lot too, but formal recruitment is the most time commitment that you're going to make to the sorority, in my opinion. For us, you have to get there 2 weeks before the start of school. So we have work week, and then the week after work week, which is the week before school starts, is recruitment week. Not gonna lie, those days are exhausting, mentally, physically, emotionally draining, but they're so worth it and so much fun. It's just so cute, like being able to look at the chapter after bid day and saying, "Oh my gosh, I recruited her. Oh my gosh, I recruited her." And like now seeing my friends with littles and be like, "I talked to your little on prep day."
Yeah, that's so fun. Honestly, recruitment so draining. But I love it. I love recruitment. I loved work week. It's where I got like the best memories with
Yeah,
some of my friends.
yeah.
And it's just like so rewarding. Like, you end up like feeling really good about it. Like, you end up having fun doing it, even though like it can be kind of stressful and it's like really tight time constraints sometimes. I mean, obviously it's gonna be a little different this year, but it's yeah, it's so rewarding. It's such a good experience. So if you're already in a sorority and you're scared to recruit, I was so scared to recruit. Like, I was so scared for the practices, just the logistics of it all. And then like work week was so fun, and I had a lot of fun recruiting. So
I okay, this sounds like so narcissistic and like I'm so full of myself. But one of my favorite memories during work week was every morning when they would take attendance and we all had to say like Delta, like for being there or not. Like they'd call our names, right? And then so it'd get to me and I am so tired in the mornings, as most people are, but I was so tired because I was up so late because I have a hard time, like, adjusting to sleeping places, and so that first week, like, work week, sleeping in the chapter house, being at Wazoo, back at school after being home all summer, it was hard for me to adjust, so I was up late. Anyway, so in the mornings, they'd call roll, and then it'd get to me, and then I was just so tired, so every single morning, I'd just answer, Delta. And then everyone would laugh or like giggle a little bit. And so it was just kind of fun. Not so much that I was tired and exhausted and had to be up at like 8, 9 a.m. But we also had dress up days. And so I would be dressed up and just be like, oh, Delta. And then everyone would laugh at me. But it was just kind of like, okay, it's gonna be a good morning, it's gonna be a good day. People are in good spirits, they're laughing, we're having a good time. I guess in a way, people laughing at me gave me joy because I was giving them joy with being so tired.
Yeah, I especially because
Weird, but
I feel you on the
yeah.
being tired. Like we would stay up so late, like every day of work week in recruitment. Like, and even especially like our recruitment team, they would stay up even later. Like, because they would have to like submit lists, get their party lists back from Pan for the next day, so they wouldn't go to bed until like 3 a.m. And then like in the morning of actual recruitment week, we got up way earlier than work
Yeah.
week, for the parties and everything. So it is definitely difficult
Yes.
to keep yourself awake and stuff, but it's just so fun.
Okay, let's get to another misconception. Um, after that really long tangent, but I liked it. Um, oh, this is a good one. That your sorority will only associate with a single fraternity, and kind of, and like vice versa, that a single fraternity will only associate themselves with your sorority. And that's not true. Like, yes, everyone does have their
Mm-hmm.
preferences about what chapters they like to have exchanges with or what chapters they have a lot of friends in. Yeah. But there are so many opinions in one chapter that if you really did only associate with one single fraternity, you would have a large majority of your chapter that was upset.
That is so true. Like, we definitely, like, you could look at it and say, like, I could probably list the, like, top 3 fraternities that we, like, do the most things with that we're, and it's always because, like, you know, it's people that we've been homecoming partners with. It's people that we do a lot of exchanges with. People that, like, our social chair has an easy time setting things up with. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, people that we get the same energy put back at us with. Because, I mean, there's so many fraternities. There's way more than there is sororities, too. So, like, if everyone just had one, it would be so unbalanced.
Yeah.
Like, there'd be so many fraternities that didn't have someone. I mean, I think everyone tries their best to mingle outside of even, like, the chapters that they do the most exchanges with. Because, like, I know a bunch of girls in our chapter are friends with guys in chapters that never do anything with us. So it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like, it doesn't come down to us always doing things with the same people. But I do have to say, we do have a chapter that we do so much with.
Yeah, like as a chapter, I could name our top 4 fraternities that we like, no problem. Top 3 gets a little tricky. Like honestly, it really does. And I could even name my top 3 and they don't necessarily overlap with our chapters. So it just depends like who you form connections with and whether it's a chapter as a whole or it's individuals within that chapter, sorority or fraternity even. You don't have to have friends in only one house. It's okay to branch out.
Yeah, and it's also like there's always going to be like someone who has had a negative experience with another chapter. So not everyone is always going to agree. We could be talking about wanting to do exchanges with a certain fraternity, but we could have like a couple women speak out and say like, "Hey, I really don't think we should because I've had this experience and this experience." And I mean, I think it's really important to respect that. Not everyone is going to like the same fraternities. I mean, lots of people in our chapter love the chapter that we do so much with.
Mm-hmm.
They love that fraternity, but we also have people who have like negative experiences there, or like
Yeah.
people having negative energy with like ex-boyfriends. Like, there's always going to be situations like that. Yeah, so that's definitely false.
Ooh, sorority girls look down on those that aren't in a sorority. I definitely do not.
No.
I mean, I'd venture to say that most sorority women are more nervous to be looked down upon because they're part of Greek life than they are to look down upon others who aren't.
Mm-hmm. I definitely think that, like, I mean, sometimes there's definitely attitude in the Greek community of, like, um, you know, there are instances of sorority women who get frustrated with there being non-Greek women, like, coming to parties, like fraternity parties. Um, so, like, there's a lot of negative energy of people calling people G's and stuff. But, like, I feel like it's not that deep and people actually don't mind it. I think the big concern for a lot is that we just care that we go through a lot of programmings and certain requirements to um, be able to host our events. And when people who don't go to these things, don't know the way our community works and know our rules go, there is some attitude there. But I feel like anytime I meet someone and they tell me that, I ask them if they're like in a chapter or something and they tell me no, like that doesn't change my mind about them. If
Yeah.
honestly, usually if they just like tell me why they decided not to join Greek life, I really respect that. Like everyone has their own um, decision in that. It's
Yeah.
not for everyone.
Yeah. And I mean, like one of the things is that nationally, internationally, nationally, I don't know, one of the two. I think probably internationally too. But anyways, is that participation in Greek life is going down. However, at WSU, the participation in Greek life, like the numbers are going up, which is so, so nice because that means that we are counteracting the stigmas, like the negative stigmas around Greek life. And
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Like, I'm super proud to be in a sorority. Like, I'm never gonna tell someone I'm not in a sorority. Even after I graduate, like, I'm still always gonna be part of Tri Delta. And again, sorority girls are like, yes, there are some who aren't as intellectually gifted. However, we have so many resources in the chapter for that. So to say that sorority girls aren't smart is a massive misconception. Like, we do have to maintain a certain GPA or you'll be academically terminated. Like, that is a reason for termination, membership termination.
Yeah. And like that's just how school works. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna have a lot of people at your university like on a big spectrum of like range of like where their like skill level is at or like where their grades usually are. Like everyone like that's just how school works. So like obviously that's gonna be reflected the same way within a sorority.
Yeah. However, I do have like a massive problem with it just because I mean with like the GPA system in general. Just because the grades don't necessarily reflect what you know, except I don't have like a remedy. I don't have a solution to that. And so the GPA system is what works best for now until I can come up with a solution and then I can change it. But until then, I can't. And oh, it irks me too. So many things irk me.
Yeah, it is really hard to just like have a representation of your academic performance only by like a GPA because it doesn't necessarily show like how well you'll be able to do your job.
Oh, hazing is inevitable.
I have never had an experience with hazing. I mean, I've heard stories of other chapters in the past, or like certain things that like happen in fraternities. We try to advocate against hazing as much as possible. I mean, it's like illegal.
And kind of along with that is that a lot of people think that Greek life is a cult, which it really, really is not. And I know my friends even like jokingly say like, "Oh yeah, we're part of a cult." No, it's really not. Like I
Yeah,
really
it's really
hate
not.
when people joke about that, and I probably have too. But I've come to my own personal conclusion decision that I hate when people joke about that because it is so far away from being a cult. Like I take it super seriously. Like cults not cool. Like
Yeah, there's like a lot of problems and like a lot of really um, horrible things happening in cults all the time. Like it's real. It's a real thing.
yes, we have our rituals, yes, we have our traditions and stuff, but that's part of
The history, like appreciating your foundation's history.
yeah. So when people like even like joke around about like, oh, so you're part of a cult, ha ha ha, I'm like, no, I'm really not. Like, please, just because there's again, that's feeding the negative stigma around Greek life. And so even if you're joking around about it being a cult or being, oh, you're paying for your friends, haha, oh, you're in a cult, haha, like all these things are giving into the negative stigma and just adding more to it, fueling the fire. And I just don't want to be part of that. I want to be part of the extinction of it. So that's my hot take.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, What do you think about
Oh,
sororities being a
wow.
waste of time?
I don't think it is. I mean, to be fair, I might be a little biased. I don't think I would call it a waste of time, but I do think some people, when they rethink their membership and decide to resign, they realize it's because they're not really feeling it. It's like not, they realize it's not for them. So to them, it seems like a waste of time and money. If they're not going to the events that they're paying for, if they're not really interested in participating in any of the stuff that we do, like, yeah, you'll realize it's a waste of time and you'd rather prioritize maybe your major or something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's a waste of time. I mean, like I said, you get out what you put in, and it's been very worth it for me. Very worth my time.
Yeah, like personally, I mean, duh, I love being in a sorority, but one of my favorite things is philanthropies and the fact that we are partnered with St. Jude, like as an organization. Like I love that. Like I've always loved St. Jude. My family's always loved St. Jude. And so the fact that I get to be part of that in some way, shape, or form means the absolute world to me.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, if you feel like it's a waste of time for you, like for me, I don't know what else I would do if I was not so involved in Try to like think about it. I'm like, what else would I be doing? I'd maybe have like a job, or like maybe I'd find more clubs. Like, I don't know, but it's like I get so much out of it that I don't see it like that.
Yeah, that's all I've got. So another misconception. Again, we are not defined by the sororities we're in. We give our sororities like their definition.
Ooh, snaps to that.
Like we don't all have the same opinions, don't all have the same beliefs. We There are so many different opinions, so many different belief systems, so many different thoughts in our chapter alone. Just between the two of us, like the president, just a regular old member, we don't all think the exact same things.
Oh yeah, that's so true. I was thinking like, the only way I really feel defined by like being in Tri Delta is like I like to say like, I'm a Tri Delta woman, so I value truth, friendship, and self-sacrifice. Like, like we all, in the ways that we share the same beliefs and like think the same things, it's that we join this chapter because we see that we have similar values to each other.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, like we all think very different things. Like I know so many women in our chapter who are religious. I know so many women who aren't religious, and like just different beliefs on everything. So, I mean, at the end of the day, like we all chose to be in our sisterhood because of our values, and we just feel like we belong together. So, but I like what you said that we define what our chapter is. I like that.
Yeah, and everyone definitely does not have the same typical sorority experience, as we kind of discussed a little bit earlier, but from recruitment all the way to your last day as a senior, like your experience will not be the same as the person next to you's.
That's just how life works. Like we're all having different life experiences too. So we're obviously gonna have a different experience within our chapter than the person next to us, especially because like there are people who want to be really, really involved and hold like positions and make the chapter their entire life, and then you will have people who don't want to be super involved and just want the chapter to like supplement and give them something else to do, like going to events and things like this. So
I definitely agree with you there. And then another thing, like another myth, is that we don't actually like our bigs, or that we just find our bigs and we're like, okay, you're gonna be my big. Because one of my favorite TV shows called Greek. It was on ABC Family when it was called ABC Family. Like Greek and One Tree Hill, my favorite shows. Anyways, I remember when Casey Cartwright and Rebecca Logan decided to be big little sisters, and it was just more of a declaration and not like our big little process. And so I definitely thought that was how it was gonna be. Like, oh, I'll find my big and we'll just know like, oh, like you're my big sister, okay, and now you're my little sister. But that's definitely not how it is. And I absolutely love and adore my big, and I absolutely love and adore all three of my littles.
all three,
I
that's
know.
so cute.
I have triplets.
I know. I've actually never really, well, okay, I guess I have heard that myth. I've just heard it in the sense of like, I feel like during recruitment last year, I don't know how this came up so many times, but so many PNMs ask, is the person that picks me up on bid day automatically going to be my big? And I just feel like, oh no, like they could potentially be your big, but like they are not just your big automatically. And then they were like, people would ask me like, oh, but like what if I don't like my big? And then I'm like, well, that's kind of not how that works, because like it's like a process. Like it's a thing where you get to meet people and see who like you want to be your big, just who you click with. I mean, obviously it's a really difficult process, and some people end up getting into like drama. It's inevitable. Some people have
Yeah.
fam drama, whatever. personality clashes along down the line. But I love my big. My big is like my favorite person ever. She actually picked me up on bid day. But and my littles. My littles are the best. Oh my gosh. And I'm so glad. Also, the other scary thing is like when you're getting like twins, you get so scared that like you want to make sure that like your littles like get along, because like you just get so scared that like what if I love these two girls, but like when you put them together, what if they don't like each other? Like it's a scary thought. I mean, at the end of the day, most of them will like each other. I was like, I don't know, like you never know with their personalities, like if they both have like really.
Yeah, no. What I was super scared of, because I thought I was just gonna have two, but then I ended up with three, which I am so happy about. But so, long story short, I got my first little fall semester, and she was called continuous open bidding, and she was random because I was put into the process later than everyone else because of my grades. Like my transcripts came in, and then that boosted my spring GPA, which allowed me to get a little. So I was off of contract then. And so I was able to get a little, and she was actually a random because everyone else had great connections with the girls who they wanted to be their littles, and that was totally fine. So I didn't meet her until big little reveal, and it was really awkward. It was so funny because Nat actually took a video of it, and I felt like it took like 10-15 seconds for me to explain that I was her big and that Marissa, my big, wasn't her big. But in the video, it's only like maybe 3 seconds. But it was so funny. And I just love and adore her. And then, so the spring, I was only going to get one informal little, but then I ended up getting two, so twins. So now they're all triplets. And I was so scared that because I know my informal littles, like they're my top two. Um, but anyways, like I know them, I love them so much, and like they get along really well. I was really scared that my first little that she would feel like left out or less loved and appreciated, or like that I paid less attention to her, and I was really really nervous about that. And so I wanted us all to hang out and have like fam nights and stuff, but then COVID happened. But I am
Yeah.
so beyond blessed to have the littles I have because I really hope they all feel loved and appreciated by me. And if you're listening, know that I love and appreciate you so much. But yeah, so it's definitely very scary to think about like twins or triplets or however many you have. Like, are they going to like each other? Are any of them going to feel neglected? Because I definitely think about that all the time, and I'm so scared. But I feel like it's as good as it can be right now during COVID.
And everyone has completely different relationships
Mm-hmm.
with their big. Like,
Yeah.
I know, like, for me, my big and I, we Snapchat, like, every day, but we don't, like, hang out all the time, or, like, we'll go out and have fam nights, or, like, do all this stuff, but we don't, like, talk all the time. It's mostly just, like, photos, and that's how it is with my littles, too. Like, we're all, like, very low maintenance in our fam. Like, we don't feel the need to, like, do things all the time. But I know that like she's always there for me, and anytime she's like at the house, like we say hi, like all this stuff. So I think some people have different relationships because some people think that like, oh, like if I'm friends like with someone else in my big's PC, I should they should be my big instead. Like I shouldn't be this person's little anymore because I'm way better friends with this person. I get along with them more. And I'm like, that's kind of so false because like you can. The point is like you should be friends with like the other people in like the older PCs.
Yeah.
You should be like friends with everyone. So it doesn't matter if your big is like your best friend out of that whole pledge class. They don't have to be. Like it serves a different purpose.
Yeah, like not every relationship that you have with your big or littles or little is going to be the same. Like it's so different, just like any other relationship that you have in life.
Yeah, like you definitely don't need to get discouraged if like your friends around you maybe like do way more with their big than like you do, because like you know what you want with like your relationship with your fam. And it's also hard. Like I know I had a hard time doing a lot with my littles because we were all on such different schedules, and I didn't have a car on campus, and neither did my big. So but this year I will have my car, so I'll get to like take my littles out to eat and to Dutch and things like that. So that's definitely a big factor in like figuring out how much you can really go do with them.
I love big littles. It's so fun. Actually, fun story. I was talking to one of them, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you to get littles this fall." And she's like, "I'm so excited. I've already started looking at Pinterest. I've already started looking at ideas." Like, I'm so stoked. I'm like, "Oh, my heart!" Like, we are going to be G bigs, grand bigs. That's crazy to me.
I know. Like I literally just turned 20. Like, how am I already gonna be a G-Big? Like, it's so wrong. I'm so
Oh
young.
gosh.
It's exciting to see how, like, excited my littles are to be getting littles, and just, like, I want to be really involved in, like, helping them and, like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe, like, doing a canvas for them, and, oh,
Yeah.
so cute.
Here's a recruitment misconception. You should have your heart set on only 1 or 2 chapters,
No.
and that you should do your research and know what they're looking for, blah, blah, blah. No, please, most definitely do not. If you do have your heart set on 1 or 2 chapters, you are probably destined for disappointment. Um, I can tell you from my experience, like I kind of looked up the chapters and just read their little bios on the recruitment page that WC set up or that PAN set up. And so that's like all the information I really knew about them. I didn't do a whole lot of digging because I really just wanted to have an open mind. Um, but during the week, I went to a chapter and I fell. And people say that you have like a rush crush, and so it's just like you meet a woman and you talk to her and you're like, oh my gosh, I really want to be her sister. Oh my gosh, I love her so much. Blah blah. Blah. Yeah, my rush crush was a whole chapter. Like I was head over heels in love with this chapter the whole week, and I had them all the way up until pref day, and then I didn't get it, and I got Tri Delta. But now I cannot imagine being anywhere else, and I'm so happy.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, it is hard sometimes, like, if after, like, the first 2 rounds you really think, oh, these couple chapters are, like, the ones I want, I can't see myself in the other ones, and then, like, not going back to them later in the week is definitely hard sometimes to, like, open your schedule and be surprised, because you might think, like, oh, I felt so comfortable there, we had great conversations,
Mm-hmm.
but there's just so much that, like, goes into it, you know, like, you might have felt really comfortable there because you already went to, like, 5 other houses that day, so you're kind of over, like, the anxiety of going in and talking to these women. Like, that's kind of how I felt. Like, I tried to prep things based on where I felt most comfortable, but I didn't realize, like, that's why it's so good to take notes after you go to each, like, chapter and write down, like, maybe the
Mm-hmm.
things you talked about and, like, how you felt like you clicked with the women you talked to, because the other ones that you go to later in the day are just so much more fresh in your mind, so you kind of almost forget about the other ones. But as the week goes on, I feel like you kind of realize more and more, oh, yeah, I actually can really see myself here. Or maybe you really realize, I don't think that the process is working
Mm-hmm.
out for me right, and that's okay. But definitely trust the process, because I'm glad that it ended up how it did for me, even though it was, like, not exactly what I expected from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. We hear this as like a lot, especially as recruiters, during like work week and before every party, to make the conversations meaningful, because PNMs, potential new members, aren't going to remember what we talked about, but they're going to remember how we made them feel. And so when you're going through the recruitment process, you don't necessarily have to remember what every single conversation was about, but just think about how not only each chapter, but like each recruiter, how they made you feel in their house. Like if they made you feel comfortable, if they made you feel confident, if they made you feel empowered, or if they made you feel kind of uncomfortable to ask questions, or if they made you feel a little bit awkward, just kind of things like that.
That's so true. Recruitment's, it can get really awkward, because, like, sometimes, like, everyone's just so burnt out. Like, you just really feel like you've said the same thing over and over. You've told everyone the same stories over and over. You just kind of are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this over and over again. So just try to, like, I don't know, just be yourself, have fun.
And our final recruitment myth is that recruitment is all fun and games and that's super easy. And while I thoroughly loved recruitment, I was told actually by one of my friends who was in the chapter I fell in love with that like before recruitment happened, so she was still allowed to talk to me, but that recruitment week is simultaneously the best and worst week of your life because it is emotionally, physically, and mentally exhausting, so draining, but it is so worth it for a lifetime worth of sisterhood and memories. And I know that sounds super cheesy, but literally last year 3 4 women from our chapter got married and a lot of their bridesmaids were sisters from our chapter,
Yeah.
so like you really do find your future bridesmaids.
Oh my gosh, it makes me a little emo, because, like, I just, like, see all those photos and it makes me so happy, because, like, I know that that's, like, what it's gonna be like for me too.
Sam, how did you know that you want to be in Tri Delta?
Well, this is literally, I feel like, what everyone says, but I mean, I did have a rush crush in Tri Delta. I mean, I had a rush crush in the other chapter that I was choosing between as well, but she just made me feel super comfortable all the time, and she's in the same major as me, so it was like super cool to talk about that with her like all week, because I talked about to her like every single day I was there.
Oh.
And I just really like was able to like look around the room, and I could like feel the sisterhood when I was there, especially on pref day. Also, one thing that we always say to PNMs on pref day is we don't want you to come here and be like us, but we want you to come here and be like you. And that was kind of just like very powerful to like be like, you know, I don't have to look at the person in front of me and say I'm just like this person, so I should be in this chapter. Like, I can look at them and say like, oh, like we're very different and we lived such different lives, but we share all these same values, so like we should like be in the same sisterhood. I don't know. So that was kind of really what it was for me.
Yeah, I mean, I just gave you guys like the lowdown of mine.
This one was really easy for me, I guess. My big Emily picked me up on bid day, and so I got to spend all of syllabus week with her. Well, like the first half of it, and we just clicked so well right away, like with the other girl she picked up with me, and it was just like perfect. And then I like kept meeting with other people, and I really liked everyone I met up with, and but the one thing that stuck was she continued to reach out to me all the time. Like, she would be like, oh, we should hang out, or like she'd text me and ask me how my day was, or she'd see me at the house and she'd talk to me. So like it was kind of like we both knew how well we clicked, and we wanted to still hang out with each other, and like I still would go out with her, like see her out. So yeah, I just kind of knew it was right.
Yeah, I mean, kind of similar for me. I mean, like me and my big Marissa, like we just like she didn't pick me up on bid day or anything, but she was my third or fourth pine, and for us pines and pearls, like pine is your potential big and pearls your potential little, or you, depending on where you are in the process. But she was my third or fourth pine, and I like we just clicked. And the moment I actually knew that I wanted to stay in Tri Delta was actually when she invited me over to the house to watch the One Direction movie. And I was the only PC 18er, so I was the only one who went through recruitment that year. And there were probably like 16 people there total, all PC 17 or 16. And when I got there, they were like, oh my gosh, Issa, hi. And I love when people know my name. And they're all like, wow, Issa, hi, like, we're so glad you're here. We're so glad you can make it. Thanks for joining us, blah, blah. And we watched the One Direction movie, and it was so much fun. And I was like, yes, I want her to be my big. And she wasn't even my pine at that point anymore. That was like a week or two later. And I was like, yes, she has to be my big. And yes, like, I'm staying in Tri Delta. Yeah. And so I guess, like, kind of also, how do you know who you want to be your littles?
Okay, I'll try to make this quick. It's kind of hard when you have more than one.
I know.
But it's so weird because we thought it was like fam tradition to, that like your little would be the person you picked up on bid day, because that's how it was for me, my big, and her big. But I talked to one of my littles on pan day of recruitment. She ended up not fully going through the recruitment process and joining later as a COB. And when I saw her signing her like papers in our living room in the morning, I was so excited because I remembered her from recruitment, and I just like knew I wanted to be her big. And so I actually had forgotten before the day of like the last pairings of like people to meet up with, like your potential littles. I forgot to text our sponsor chair and say like, hey, I would really love to be paired up with Peyton, because I like just kind of knew that her and I would click, and all of the other COBs had already seemed to have clicked with other people, so I was like, I just really don't know where this is going. But I forgot to request, but I woke up and I was paired with her, and so she came over and she actually hung out the night after like the worst lab of my life. I was having like I was literally having a mental breakdown in my room when she came to hang out that night. And it was just like the perfect situation. Like, it just helped us like bond and realize that that's what we wanted. But at the time of that one, I already had my first little cater, who I was feeling so discouraged in the big little process the first time around with the formal recruitment girls, because I already really knew that I loved my friend Annie, because we've been friends for like a year at this point, and so I already knew her, really liked her, but I thought it would be really good for us to find our own people. Like, yeah, because we were already such good friends, so I was like, I really think it would be good for us to like have other people as our big and little, because we already know each other so well at that point. But everyone else that I was meeting had already kind of like clicked with their first people, and I was having a hard time finding someone. And then Cater was also my last pairing before like reveal and stuff, and so she just like came over and hung out with me and my roommate in our senior lounge, and we just like talked a lot and watched like videos and stuff, and we ended up clicking. And it was very similar for her too. Like, she kept meeting up with girls who would like tell her that they already like had a really good relationship with one of their other pearls, which is so hard, because like as much as you know that you shouldn't talk about that with them, you want to know, like, you don't want to think that this person really likes you and then no.
Yeah, you want to know where you stand.
So we both like, we clicked and it was perfect. And I remember I don't know, I was just so excited that I ended up with both of them. And it was just funny that they were both my last pairing, because, and that's the other thing, is like some people know right away from the first pairing, and that's great. And it's like really hard to get discouraged when all your friends kind of know exactly who their little is going to be. They've already talked about it with them, and you're like, I haven't found someone yet. But you will find them, because we did.
Yeah. So again, for me, like my first little Anna May, she was a random, and so I didn't know her until not bid day, big little reveal for the COB girls. But oh my goodness, I absolutely adore her to bits. She's so cute and so sweet. All my littles super low maintenance, which is really nice because one, I have three, two, I don't, yeah. Um, but I can check in with her every few weeks or every few days and just be like, hey, how are you doing? Like, do you need me for anything? Do you need help with anything? How do you want me to encourage you? Blah, 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 you know? And it's just, I feel like we have a really good relationship. I really hope that she feels the same way. But yeah, but then my two informal littles, so I was originally only going to get one, and my other Anna, I picked her up on bid day, on informal bid day, super cute, love. And so I got to know her a little bit. I was like, oh, she's so sweet, she's super cute. I really loved her. And then I went through a few more girls, and then I got Adriana later on, and one of our friends like really liked Adriana. I was like, oh no, like I really don't want to step on her toes or anything, blah, blah. And like I talked to her about it too, and she's like, oh no, like you and Adriana would be super great together. And it's so funny because the first time Adriana and I hung out, we went to Panda Express and we just sat there talking for I don't know how long. And she's so funny because she's like, honestly, I don't really open up like this to everyone. Like you just make me feel super comfortable. I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I like then I knew I was like, I don't know how I'm going to choose between the two because I love them so much. And so I was like, you know what? I'll risk it and just say, yeah, I can get two more littles. And I'm so glad I did because it really paid off because I got the two that I really, really wanted. And oh, I just adore them all to bits. They're so sweet and they are all so similar to me, but in incredibly different ways. And I just don't even know how to explain it. And I've kind of like, have described them to my big Marissa a little bit. She's like, wow, they really do fit in with the fam. Like, yeah, I know. Ooh, is Greek life just like they show in the movies and on TV?
It just makes me laugh so much because like I loved watching like we were talking about Greek. I loved that show when I was in like middle school. But I think I kind of knew that it wasn't like that. Like I knew that it was like a fake version of like college, because I mean it's just like the same as how horribly TV portrays high school. Like in shows like Riverdale and stuff, like that's not what high school is like. So it's like the same thing. It's absolutely not like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think some aspects are, but I would venture to say a majority are not. Like Legally Blonde, for example. Do girls really get that excited over a date? Yes. Yes, we really do. Like, I mean, it depends on the person and what's going on, but generally, yeah. If like you tell all your friends that you're going on a date with this boy, they're like, "Oh my gosh, that's so exciting!" Or you tell them just exciting news, then we really do get that excited. But I'd venture to say most things are not true or exaggerated. How much time would you say is required?
Well, I mean, I feel like you can expect to at least like once you join, like you're going to have like some sort of like meetings once a week. Like as a new member, like you have your new member process, so you're gonna have meetings like once a week, but they're usually only like an hour long. So just like expect that you're gonna have like a meeting commitment once a week. And then besides that, it's kind of like however much you want to put in. I mean, it varies from school to school, obviously, on how much like community service is required and stuff like that. But like, I mean, you just know you'll want to or be required to go to like your philanthropy events. Things like that, really what you want to put in.
I'm glad that we are fortunate enough that our chapter meetings are particularly short, like 45 minutes max. Whereas other chapters on campus, their chapter meetings are 2 or 3 hours. Just be prepared for long chapter meetings, just in case. But they are very informative. And again, how will Greek life affect grades? Every chapter has a grade requirement, and Panhellenic has a grade requirement. I don't know why I cannot say this. Has a grade requirement for you. And so if you fall below that for a certain amount of time, like a certain number of semesters, you can be academically terminated. So you do want to have good grades.
Yeah, I feel like it helped mine.
And it's just encouraging because everyone else around you has the same goals to do well, you know? Ooh, how much does it cost to be in a sorority?
Oh my gosh. It varies so much, especially campus to campus, because every college is different. Because I know a lot of schools, like if they don't have housing for Greek life, like you're obviously not going to have those operational expenses for the things you use at your chapter facility. So that's kind of why I feel like ours might be higher than other schools. But it definitely varies so much. So definitely look into like the guides that your school offers. Most chapters have payment plans. Most chapters have like other ways, like scholarships you can apply for, things like that. And like they really want to make it work for their members.
You just have to reach out. Yeah, because they really do want you. So if it's a financial burden, just reach out and they will do everything that they possibly can for you. Can you participate in things outside of Greek life, like be a part of other organizations?
100%.
Yeah. Like, again, like I babysat first semester for one of the football coach's kids. Yeah, that did take a lot of time, but also I had the time because the sorority does not take up all of my time.
Yeah, like I'm in I do like Bible study outside of the sorority. I've gone to other club meetings. We have girls who were in like sports in our chapter, so you can do it all.
What is the recruitment or rush process like? Again, it's different for everyone. Like at our school, we call it recruitment. Again, like after each day, you get cut from some houses or you just don't get called back to some houses. And for me, I went from 14 to 4 that very next day. And other people went from 14 to 10, which was the max you could have the next day. So it really just depends.
And WSU does like, we specifically do values-based recruitment, like we use like a program where everyone takes like this like quiz and you know like your top values or whatever. So we focus a lot on conversations on those kinds of things. And like, I don't know, I feel like it's a little different. I mean, many schools are switching over to trying to do values-based recruitment, but that's a huge thing about how it's like at WSU.
And finally, what does sisterhood mean to you, Sammy B?
I feel like just the concept of like sisterhood is just like you have this group of people who like you recognize that you're similar but so different in so many ways, and you're always there for each other, and you're there to support each other and encourage everyone to be their best selves all the time. Wow. It's just like a positive environment of these people are encouraging and these people will push me to be better.
Yeah, I'd pretty much say the same thing. Like, I feel like majority of people have their best friends, like their group of best friends from childhood and like through elementary school, middle school, high school, or whatever that looked like to you. And for me, that's what sisterhood feels like. It's just your group of friends that you not only do life with, that you choose to do life with. Like I chose to become like involved with Sam in this project, in this podcast, and in content creation. And I chose to be involved with Nat, like, and when we were choosing our rooms and stuff, and just keeping these people in your life because you want to push each other, you want to empower each other, you want to just continue with them. We could literally talk for so much longer about all of this stuff, I know, but we'll cut it off now.
All right, so that brings us to Likewise Songs of the Week. Issa, do you want to go first?
Sure. My song of the week is I'm Good by the Mowglis. This song is on my Enneagram playlist, if you're not tired of hearing me talk about that yet. I was listening to it and I was like, wow, that's actually like really good. And I was on Pinterest today. I saw this like God is not in a hurry. You are. It's why you're tired. It's why you're anxious and stressed and disappointed. Today, I pray that you surrender your timeline in favor of His peace. Trust that what was meant to be yours will be yours. And that just really resonated with me. Like, wow. Okay. Yeah. I am good. I am where I need to be. I'm figuring out who I am. I'm figuring out what I'm trying to do. But I'm in the right place.
I love that. Mine is just another new song discovery that I made this week. It's called Acetone by Landon Conrath. And it's just like so good. And the album artwork for it is so cool. But yeah, it's just a very nice vibe. I hate that I feel like I've said that every week, but it's just kind of like one of those songs. Like, I've been like trying to find a lot of new songs recently, and that was one that just really stuck out to me. So it's on my new playlist, and I've been listening to it a lot.
Thank you for having such a long talk with me today. But yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Isa. And likewise to you all.
Bye.
Bye.